Hey everyone, this is Haley from Cartoon Universe, and today me and Michael are going to be talking about the first episode of the two-part season Star vs. the Force of Evil finale episodes, Face the Music. And this was a 22-minute episode, and it was full of a lot of. I thought it was pretty cool. What did you think, Michael?
I'm still coming off of it. I'm still like in that world right now. I'm still emotional because I just watched both episodes. So like my chest is legitimately tense right now at the moment because there was just so much emotion and hype and God, so much payoff. So much payoff. If you haven't watched the show, I don't know why you're watching this video. If you haven't watched the show yet, but if you haven't watched the show, please watch Star. It's so great. It's so great, and I'm emotional and broken. Also, we would like to apologize for any lawnmowers or roof. Legitimately, I have a lawnmower right outside my window, and people working on the roof right above me at the same time. So, sorry. And before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to Loot Anime. It's type of Loot Crate, get a bunch of anime goodies. Go check them out. Go to lootcrate.com/Cartoon Universe. This past month's theme was Dimension, so we figured this would be a good time to plug that because Star versus the Force of Evil, all of the dimensional adventures that be going on, and hit the coupon Cartoon Universe once again, and you get 10% off, and it helps out the channel, and you get some cool anime stuff for all you weebs out there.
Yeah. So this video we are going to be talking about Just Face the Music. We'll be having the next episode, Star Crushed, up very shortly after this one, this video releases. So to begin, basically, we hear the song for Star's mom, Queen Moon, and we kind of learn how she is like the perfect queen, as the puppets show us. And we learn that every Queen of Muni gets a song about them before they become queen, on a day called Song Day. And now, of course, it's Star's turn. And a songstrel, which is what they're called, is coming to Earth to write her song. And Star's really not happy about this. And while Star deals with that, we see that, her mom is taking some initiative, which is great to see, and is going to the Forest of Certain Death. At one point, we don't know why this is, but pretty soon it's revealed why exactly she's doing that.
Yeah, I was very curious as to what she meant when she said she had been there before. That was immediately intriguing. I like how they pull you in like right away, like, ooh, where's she going?
So this is actually going to be pretty difficult because literally the narrative it keeps jumping back and forth between the two. So sometimes I'm going to be like combining a bunch of scenes together, like from different points in the episode, or jump back and forth. So bear with us because this is like two separate stories going on at the same exact time.
Yeah, I liked how they did that though. They were like it never felt like we were being taken away from something, because with the Star stuff we had the Marco issue and the Song Day. You knew something, it was building up to something, especially since it is the season finale. And then with the Moon stuff is inherently interesting.
Yeah.
So, and then it was very smart the way that it kind of just came together. At the end, they kind of combined Star's side of the episode and Moon's side, and then they came together at the same place, and then everything just kind of accumulated into something that was for the greater narrative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty amazing how they did that.
Yeah.
But just for us, for analyzing, it's a bit difficult because I got to go back and forth. So the song still, Ruberata, I believe.
Rubariat.
Jeez, I kept doing that in my head, like I sang it, and then I can't even say it out loud. So he arrives and wants to learn more about Star, but she just ends up ditching them, him and Marco, to hang out with Jana, and that's where it goes back to Queen Moon, and we learn that she goes into this forest to talk to Lord Bruto, who turns out to be Ludo's father, and surprisingly, we are learning a huge ton about Ludo's family, which I was not expecting at all.
Yeah, I thought that was just going to serve a purpose for just backstory. But I'm very surprised that we actually got to see them in action, especially Ludo's father as well, since we know he has a lot of daddy issues. So it's really cool to see them. And I like how worried River was about Moon. Like, I like how the roles are kind of reversed, where it's usually the king going out and being the hero. I like how it's the queen in this universe, and Rivers is like, oh no, my darling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what we learn about Ludo and his family is that I guess he kind of locked his parents out of their castle. I guess they were royalty, and so they don't talk to each other now. And I guess they kind of see him as a disappointment because he's the runt and a bunch of other things.
Yeah, and they try to explain to rationalize it, like, oh, we were harder on him because he was the runt, so we thought it would develop him more, which I feel like can sometimes be the logic for actual abusive parental relationships sometimes.
So I believe Moon called them Lord or like Avarius. Like, what do you think their connection is like to each other? Do you think like they were just like another king and queen with their children in the castle?
Yeah,
or something like that.
Like, because they had the crown and they had a castle. So I guess maybe it's very interesting that they seem to be relatively civil. You know,
Yeah.
since they're like monsters. So like, I guess maybe they struck a deal at some point, like in Moon's adventures as a princess or young queen. Like maybe there was some type of land issue or some type of treaty or something with that family specifically for some reason. Not really sure why, but they seem to be on peaceful terms. So I feel like the family, like the brothers and sisters and stuff, they're relatively compliant with the humans.
So something cool that I mean it's pretty obvious that we saw later, especially, was that some of his species can fly, which is like I was not expecting that at all. Like at first I thought they were just like kappas, which is like because of the thing on top of their heads, but they seem like birds now, and I don't think Ludo's father could fly or had like the wings, but I thought it was just like a female thing at first, but then it looks all of them we find out his younger brother can fly, so I wonder what's up with that.
It's probably just genetics. If the mom can fly, then some of the kids can fly, some of them can't, since the dad can't.
Yeah. So what is interesting is that Ludo still has a younger brother who still cares for him and stuff, despite the rest of his family not really caring for him. And he takes Moon, he finds Moon and takes her to Ludo, where Ludo is staying now, which is like this temple that we saw before, a few episodes back, I believe. And she notices that Ludo has half the wand, which is, a big thing, and she wants to get it back. And she tells Dennis that she's going to try to help his brother, which, as we see later on, she kind of, I don't know, she tries her best, I guess.
Yeah, it's very interesting that there's someone who really cares about Ludo, like in the family, because he kind of painted it as no one really cared. I forget what I was gonna say. I like how his name is Dennis, and he's the only one whose name doesn't rhyme. Yeah,
usually it'd be like Ludo's that wouldn't rhyme, but then now it's his younger brother. Okay, so going back to Star's story, she gets back from her shopping trip, and of course is not happy about this whole song day thing, and shoot, I can't say his name again.
Rubariat.
Rubariat, there you go, is not happy about it either. And, together he and Star decide to make a very unique song, which we see later is, for better or for worse, is very different.
Very different.
So back to Moon, we see that she's about to put her armor on to go somewhere, which we don't know what it's for, but she realized that she still has to go to Star's song day. And so the two stories kind of meet up then. And, an interesting note is that Star has her own merchandise and stuff, which is probably to be expected, considering that she's, like, super popular now. Yeah, and she's going to be a queen.
Yeah, like how Star and Marco both have their own merchandise in Muni.
Right.
In the multiverse.
And we also see a couple of familiar faces at this the Song Day party, which is the High Magic Council. And have we seen, were those old people, if you notice, Star's grandparents? I'm not sure if you noticed.
I have no idea. Yeah, I noticed them. Have we met her grandparents before? I don't think we have.
Like, if any episode, it would have been Flag Day, right? And I
guess so. They're probably in the background or something. Yeah, Game Flag Day. Yeah, we may have seen them before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to the actual concert, we get to see the song, which is amazing, and it begins like normal, like one of the normal Song Day songs, but soon changes into something very unique and crazy, just like how Star wanted it to be. And in the middle of it, or after the big whole, like, I guess after it gets all crazy, a little bit after that, it changes from like lights up bright colors and stuff to green. And it talks about, all the Star's secrets, like what happened with Ludo and Glossaric. and how her parents aren't telling any of their citizens like any of what's happened, including the Magic Council, which is a huge deal.
Yeah, like that. I didn't realize like the severity of them keeping that. Like I didn't realize how much it was like a secret, basically.
Yeah, it was like a lie by omission. They said.
Lie by
so
omission.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's basically just exposed everything to all the humans. So good job. Now is mass hysteria.
Right? And to make things even worse, right before the song ends, the songstrel added one last thing, and he talks about Star's love for Marco, and he made it pretty explicit that Star has a huge crush on him, and it's pretty crazy because Star, obviously this had to happen, but like now she has no choice but to confront Marco about this, and it seemed like Marco didn't have any idea about any of this before, but now he does. And the episode kind of ends with Star being super embarrassed and leaving on a cloud, which explains what we saw in the promo.
Yeah, not a fan of Rubariat after that move. not a cool move. But like, how did he know? Like, I don't imagine Star telling him that, especially if she knows he's writing a song. So did he just deduce it?
He just noticed. I guess he's just that good. He noticed them like they were really close. Did they hug? I don't remember if they hugged.
Yeah. That's probably what it was, because like they were hugging. He was staring at them. He was staring at them.
He was.
Well, that's probably that. I thought that was just a joke, but that's probably exactly where that came from.
Mm-hmm. You can read between the lines.
Oh, man. That's harsh.
I know, right? Yeah. So that was pretty much it. Was there anything else that you noticed about the episode that you want to touch upon?
Not really. I like how Moon was like, the truth is dangerous and people don't like the truth. They like a perfect little blah, blah, blah. And that's very relevant to real life.
Oh, yeah.
People lose their minds for sure. And I feel like a lot of like politicians and stuff keep things buried because the truth is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was God, I was just so uncomfortable when Patrick Stump started singing about Star and Marco. That just got so like it was bad. It's a bad time.
Yeah, so I mean, I loved the episode. I mean, even though it kind of got weird in the end, but like I loved it. I loved the song, and the next one is just even better. So yeah, so it leaves it on a kind of a bad note for the next episode, but things get cleared up, I guess, then, or
sure.
Yeah, let's put that. No more questions are raised at all.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Perfect. Yeah, so check out the next video, which we'll be uploading soon, and I think that pretty much covers it for this analysis video. We'll see you then.
See ya.